All right. So once again, everyone in this room's fixed it, so you can ignore me, but I'm just talking to my recording once I find my slate, of course. Oh, Thomas, there it is. Okay, so one more time, and this is mostly just for video purposes. Miss Durant, if you had her, she had these backwards. This right here, the melting point and boiling point for polar should be medium, and for non-polar should be low. All right, so that's the thing that we corrected. Okay, you bet, you're welcome. Okay, my friends, now those three quizzes: bonded matching, bonded concepts, bonded determining bond types and properties. You got nothing? Oh. Okay, well, good thing that we're learning that you guys suck today instead of tomorrow. Well, look, I've discovered first hour that Durant didn't teach those, so we'll fix it today. Don't just guess though on all of them. The cation, anion, fine, but try the rest of them. You could sort of be right, but you'd still fail. This is making me angry. We're about to get a Tom smash. Have any of your dads just at some point just lost it? Like they're super patient, they're super fine, and then all of a sudden something just goes flying against the wall. Am I the only? Okay, Whit, thank you. No, Walentine dad, perfect always. But you thought that about me until right now too, probably. Okay. No, I didn't. Okay, so take about 10-15 minutes, work on these three quizzes. If you're not done, just keep on chugging. But let's go look at this train wreck, should we? Should we start with bonded concepts since I'm already here? I'll refresh it. Quiz statistics. You should probably have done better because look how beautiful this distribution is. If this was a hand, we'd have one finger taller than the rest. Here you go. 68, that kicks the crap out of 53. I tell you one thing and it helps. So, all right, I want to talk a little bit about this before we go, because it would be really nice if we knew what these were, all right, before we take this quiz, this test, right? Okay, so let me introduce you to a couple of words, and I kind of already did it, but we'll be, ooh, I feel like I did this first hour too. We'll be all right. I want you to participate a lot with me in the next 5 minutes so that I can feel like you're good to go. So first things, I say it like 1,000 times a year, but you didn't have me for this section, but I want you to memorize this sentence, and it is that metals are losers. Metals are losers. Okay? They are losers. They lose electrons. So metals are what? Losers, like the first 4 games before I took over when I coached you. And then after, we never lost. I wonder, am I the greatest flag football coach ever? If I take over a team 0-4 and then we go 4-0 after, just saying. Okay. Okay, moving on. Who are the losers? Metals. Metals. So what? non-metals must gain. But let's stick with the losers, okay? Metals are losers. What are they losing? All right, they lose electrons. Okay, now this is weird. Kids don't like it. I didn't get to make the rules up way back thousands of years ago. Electrons are negative, right? If you lose a negative, what happens to you? All right, so they lose electrons. This is a bad period because I'm going to just put an and sign. You okay with that? No, I don't even like how that. I want to phrase it different. I'm just going to go like this. They lose electrons to form something that really fired Ike up. What are they going to form? Positively, whatever, charged, and then they have a name. Cat ions. What's that? Because they're positive. All right, they are positive. There was a teacher a long time ago. Her name was Mrs. Valentine. And then she got married, and she was Mrs. Roberts. But she'd like, I'm wasting time. Like she would draw a cat. Now don't judge my art skills because I have none. All right, but she'd draw a cat, and then to me it was the most scary looking thing ever. Like whatever. And then she'd put like plus signs as its eyes.
Oh, that's a goat demon right there.
That was how she had you remember that cats were positive. I think mine's the easiest. The sign is literally in the name. The T makes a positive or a positive. That's pause now because it has the pads. And pause have four, or is it three? Whatever. Don't even worry about it. But we know cat ions are now positive. You get that wrong, I'm going to be PO'd. All right. So metals lose. They lose electrons. Electrons are negative. So you lose a negative, you become positive, and we call a positive ion a cat ion. Okay, here we go. All right. I already had this, right? Couldn't we? Non-metals do what then? Non-metals gain electrons. I considered it, but I'm too dumb. All right. So it says it oh, you're right. There we go. Sorry. Non-metals gain electrons. They gain electrons, and electrons are what charge? Tell your partner. They're negative. All right. Okay. They are negative. If you gain a negative, you become negative. And if you're a negative ion, you're not a cat ion, so you must be an ion. Okay, now think about this. If you have a cat ion out here, just chilling, it's a positive cat ion. You all right with that? All right, and then we have this just whatever over here that just gained an electron from the cat ion, and it's minus. Let's do some kinesthetic learning. Put your hands out here. If they're a positive and a negative, what are they going to do to each other? They're going to come together and form a what? An ionic bond. A bond is correct, but a bond, an ionic bond is a bond between two ions, a cat ion and an anion, a metal and a non-metal. That is what an ionic bond is. Are we ready? Okay, so let's see. I don't remember how you did on this, but overall, we were right here, correct? So we went 94. I'm just impressed. So 94, 94, 94. 76, 88, 76, 76, 59. Okay. And then 59. Okay, well, let's just, you did really well, actually. I should look there first. So remind your partner, a metal is a loser. Metals do what? They lose electrons to become what charge? Positively charged cations. We can do this. That's what they are. Then a non-metal will gain, awesome job, electrons to form negatively charged anions. I'm glad you came today, Tracy. When a bond happens between two ions, don't say metals, don't say atoms. Like there's bonds between those, but this one is describing an ionic bond. All right, when it happens between two ions, we call it an ionic bond. We can do perfect on that tomorrow, I hope. Okay, most of us can do perfect on that. Some of us will do just well. All right, how are we feeling? Okay, coming down here. These were taught mostly when Durant was here. I did review them, so it's been a while. Let's make sure that we are good, because we're not good right there, not at all, right? Not trying to be mean to anyone, but I mean, this is you, not me. Just kidding. We'll find out. If 5th and 6th hour do bad, then it's me too. So, okay. Has anyone ever heard the song "America the Beautiful"? Spacious skies for amber waves of grain. Fast forward, my little edgy Christian funk. What? Thug. Okay. All right, Ivan, come back to us. There's a line that talks about from sea to shining sea. A shining sea of metal. We have a sea of electrons, a shiny sea. What type of bond? Metallic.
I always remember because C has EA and metallic has EA.
If that works too, then go for it. All right. So a sea of electrons means a metallic bond. A metallic bond, if we were going to draw out how like it looks, I don't know if she ever did this or I ever did this. I swear I did, but whatever. It's like the church example where the little kid runs wherever it feels like. Does that sound familiar? Wow. What is going on here? In a metallic bond, electrons can go everywhere. There's just a crap ton of them on the piece of metal and they go everywhere like a sea of electrons just randomly flowing back and forth. Okay, since you weren't here for the analogy, I'll quickly share it. If you go into certain types of church buildings, there's rows and there's people in them. And at least if yours is like mine, at least one row, there's one with like one mom and like 30 kids all in the same row. You with me? All right. And then this mom's like, she can control the ones she's close to, but then little Billy just runs away. Have you ever seen this happen? All right. And like she can give up on all these and go chase the one, or just like, screw it. There's 50 moms around here. He'll be okay. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, someone will pick him up. If he falls over, everyone will make that one noise like, and then like he's fine. He survived because there's moms everywhere, right? In the metal, the moms are the nuclei and the electrons are the kids, and there's just electrons and moms everywhere. So it's just fine. You go all right with that? Another way of thinking about a metal is in musical chairs. If the music never stops, doesn't matter how many chairs there are. No. So unless we stopped the electrons from moving and they had to be somewhere, well, then we'd be in trouble because there's not enough of them or there's too many, whichever way you want to define it, but they don't. Okay, so a metal is a sea of electrons. Okay, next. This one is my pet peeve. A hydrogen bond is not a bond. It is a weak attraction between an atom, yada, 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 but it's not a bond. It's where hydrogen is sort of attracted to oxygen in a different water molecule. Okay, cations, now we should know it. They are in an ionic bond. On cations, I don't know what you chose. Okay, metals lose, nonmetals gain, and that happens in ionic bonding. Because really, this up here says match each phrase below to the type of bond that it corresponds to. Cations, ionic bonds. Okay, which ones do not share electrons? There's an exchange. There's also an ionic bond. It's not misleading. If, like, who, I don't know. You guys all gave me Mountain Dew for Christmas, right?
No.
My birthday. Oh, wait. Ooh, maybe you should. Okay, someone gave me this drink. I don't share it with them. You want the rest? No, that's disgusting, right? So I was, okay, well, okay, I gave one to Ivan yesterday, but then did we share it with 2 straws? No, I get fired. So in an ionic bond, there is a loser that gives. They don't share. The other one takes. Okay, so in an ionic bond, even though like there was one given and it sounds so nice and fluffy, but they're not sharing. You don't give someone a Christmas present and then expect them to share it right back to you. All right. Okay. So ionic bonds do not share. Positive, this one's tricky. You see the word partial right here? Because polar and ionic are kind of similar. I'm not going to lie. But in an ionic bond, a full negative and positive is formed. In a polar one, it's partially positive, partially negative, and I'll try and describe that as fast as I can. Someone pushed a bunch of buttons and this went to the side, and it's blowing my mind. And I know you're like, old dude, you just push one button. Well, I don't know what button that is. Feel free to show me during B time. That, I am an old dude. I really, like, just sleeping, I wake up hurt. That's when you know. What craps? I want it back at the bottom. Yeah, well, look, he looks young. Yeah, this is a craps walk.
I sleep on this stuff, bro. No, I don't do the mouse.
It goes to sleep, so just click it once and then it's live. And that is why I'm 46 and roughly 280 in computer years.
No, you're 280 computer years. You actually know something.
That wasn't you either. All right.
Weird. Today, Jackie.
It's Bizarro Day. Did you just drag it? I tried to drag it with my pen and it wouldn't work. So I guess I have to do it with the mouse because I thought you could, but then it just wouldn't work with this thing. All right, craps for the dub. Just sounds weird though. What was I talking about? Oh, polar. Water's polar, right? A polar, pretend they're the same size. All right. Polar. Oxygen is much better looking. We have a word for that in chemistry though. Electronegative. Good job. Oxygen has higher in electronegativity. So the pair of electrons that is shared, you would think it'd be shared equally, like halfway, but they're not. Oh, why are they separate? Usually they just stick together. The electrons are closer to oxygen than they are hydrogen. That leaves what we call a dipole, which you don't have to know, but it leaves the hydrogen side a little positive and the oxygen side a little negative. It makes partial negative and positives. Since this now has kind of 2 halves, a positive side and a negative side, we say it's polar. It has poles, like the planet. Here's the problem. Someone did tell you this 3 weeks ago.
But they didn't explain it like say that.
I'm sorry. Well, I've taught for 20 years. She's taught for 20 minutes. All right. I should be better than her by definition. All right. Anions. I know this one. Anions are in what type of bonds?
Ionic.
Ionic. Good. Equal sharing. Wait a minute. It's definitely not ionic, right? And it's definitely not polar. So it must be non-polar. Because non-polar, if we look right here, non-polar means it does not have two sides. So if you share equally, like, I don't know, we have N and O, they share pretty equally. The electrons would reside roughly in the middle of them. So this side would be just as positive and negative, and this side would be just as positive and negative. There'd be no side or no pole. Okay, water, this one gets a lot of people, and it's just a terrible question, I'll be honest. Water is an example of a molecule with this type of bond. And I was looking for polar, because in biology, they taught you water was polar. Or they should have.
Biology was years ago.
I'm sorry. Now, they may have also taught you that there's hydrogen bonding in water, which is true. So I might just need to check or change that one.
So if you think about it by using water, if water is your example for polar bonds,
Then you should know water has.
and like so there's a
Polar.
ice cap, what ice is water?
Whoa. Yeah. That's why the bear dissolved in water, because he was polar. Yes.
So all these bonds are atoms.
Yep.
So then the hydrogen bond, that's not between atoms, it's between like an atom and
100%. It's between a molecule and another molecule. Kind of weird, huh? So this is for you only. Everyone else, don't pay attention. Oh, crap. We're screwed. In water, we have O, H, and H. This bond right here is held together because of the covalent bond or sharing of electrons. And this is called a intramolecular force. Now, if you take another water and you have an H here, an O here, and an H here, they're slightly positive, slightly positive. This attraction right here is called the intermolecular force. Now, computer nerd, what is intranet?
Internet.
Intra. It's an old term. You don't know it? Okay. If the internet is out, everyone in this building can still email everyone in this building, because this building runs on an intranet. It's the connection inside the building. Internet is a connection with outside the building. So your aha moment is true. Every bond that we really talked about was inside a molecule or an intramolecular force. But hydrogen bonding, and it's why it's a pet peeve of mine, is an intermolecular force between two molecules. Awesome. Okay. And there's your nerd word for computer speak. I may not know how to drag that, but I knew what intranet and internet is. I feel like it's 1-to-1. Davidson 1, Craps 1. All right. Two-sided. Our planet has two sides, Ivan. Polar.
Yes.
Polar. All right, we can do better. We can do better. Okay, we still have one more quiz to review. It's called the matching. Whoo! I bet you did fantastic. I believe in you guys. Yeah, just scan the front thing on the thing. And they're also the page 14, 15, or 16, whatever the homework is. They're the bottom of the first page. Oh, we killed first hour. Yeah, they were at 56. We dominated them. Like, how could they even feel good about themselves? All right, are we ready? We're going to do better tomorrow, though, because you now know a bond formed between cation and anions is a ionic bond. We know that now. A substance composed of two or more atoms chemically bond to each other. That's dumb. Should be bonded. That's compound. That's been on every test but one all year.
We'll never forget that one.
You will forget it, not you. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8 people have forgotten it. Valence electrons. Oh man, whoever put valence, like, peace out, dogs. It's not even like that. Doesn't make no sense. Okay, so it's just a bond, or it's just a compound. The power. Ooh, this is the hotness scale. The power of an atom to attract. Pretty good. Electronegativity. Particles occupying the highest energy levels of atoms. I can't say the word electrons because that gives you the answer. It is a valence electron. Valence is the outer level, the top, the outside. A covalent bond. So don't put ionic. And it says it's covalent. All right. And it has the word covalent right here or there. It's one of these two. A covalent bond that shares electrons most evenly. Why did this stay down? Craps. There we go. Yeah, it was weird. It usually just goes away, but that time it did not. The covalent bond that shares electrons most evenly. If it's even, it does not have sides. So it means non-polar, no poles. Good job. Non-polar. A weak bond or really an attraction. Which one's not a bond that has the word bond in it? Hydrogen. Okay. It is an attraction between two molecules, not a bond between atoms. Okay. All right. The general term used for sharing. Covalent. The general term is covalent. Because like you probably didn't do this, I'm assuming. If we have like bonds and we did a chart, we would have ionic and we would have covalent. We'd have metallic. And then we'd like just kind of put this lame one over here. And we'd have hydrogen. Inside covalent, there would be two types. Polar, two-sided, and nonpolar, not two-sided. All right. Ionic, no sharing. A bond between ions. All right. Positive and negative charges, cations, anions, all that business, right? Okay. So like we do this chart when I teach it. It's in their notes, but whatever. Okay. So covalent is the general way we say they share. Co means together. Valent means valence. So valence together. Okay. A bond held with a C2 shining C. That was gross. I'm not a great singer, but most people do this. They sing stupid just in case their real singing sucks. Right? And we all do it. It's a coping mechanism for us to not have perfect pitch. Okay, C, that's shiny like metals. A mutual attraction between atoms that binds the atoms together is called a bond. Like you and your friends bond because you have a mutual attraction. Go ahead. Okay. Thank you. I feel better now. Let me hear it. What'd she say?
You said, I'm not very good at singing. I was like, don't say it. And that was it. And she said that was gross. I don't even know which was worse. No, that I didn't say to your face because I didn't want her.
I'm like a mediocre singer when I really try. I'll tell you what, the last night we went out caroling. It was like 25 people and silent night. I don't think we had the same key, any of the doors we knocked on. And I also don't think we started and ended with the same key either. Because all those boys on that high note were like, oh, that ain't happening. So it was a disaster. But we only went to old people and it was like 7, so their hearing aids weren't even in. They're like, oh, what? Okay. Hey, this says covalent bond. So the answer better end with what word? Covalent. Well, sorry, not end, but it better have covalent in it. A covalent bond where one atom draws electrons more closely, meaning it makes 2 sides, is polar. I'm sorry. What's that? Oh, I like that you're planning ahead. Making plans for the future is like a good thing, but I don't know about failing ahead or sorry. If you plan to fail, you fail. But he is planning.
If you prepare to plan, then you plan to prepare to fail.
I take my pencil and I flip it. It's just like flipping a coin. That's
I
all.
hope the power math doesn't work like.
No, if it did that, I wouldn't carry this around. Literally have like
It's
some
just the magic.
issues. Okay. Why are you gonna fail the test?
Johnny is
See,
focused.
you are being way more rude than I am today.
Yeah,
Let's
everyone's
get that clear.
just killing me today.
Let's just say Shawty with this one.
Chill.
That's a lie.
If you want.
Will you do that again? Let's hit Shorty with this one.
Let's say Shawty with this one.
I'm so confused. Is that like CPR?
No,
Let's hit Shorty with this one. I saw you. You like that. Oh, we got someone snort. Oh my gosh.
oh my goodness.
Society is caving in.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like Lefgren, and I think a lot of you are going to fail the test tomorrow.
No, be positive.
No, we gotta be realistic.
Be what? A cat ion. Okay. So we're not going to take it tomorrow. I'm not giving it to you tomorrow. I saw how first and second hour did, so not good.
Just wait till 6
I don't even know what it's.
6th hour,
Oh, wait till 6.
I love them, but it's like 8 of us. It's this area right here, and then 2 people there, and like no one here. It's so hard to teach only 10 kids that show up. All right, so we will test next week. Well, we're not gonna just chill and party till we take the test. We're gonna keep going till we get better. You okay with that? Okay. Now, what you should do the rest of this hour, you may have noticed some of you don't feel good about how you're gonna do on the test, right? Where's the only chance to get extra credit? Did I even say this before?
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, I am right. So what I would do the next 5 minutes, 3 minutes, is do a couple naming ones so you can like pre-plan to get extra credit for when you fail. All right, I'm going to, Sydney, I'm gonna just end this. So thank you for coming. I hope to see you tomorrow when we're not having a test. If she's hitting the chat, I'm gonna feel bad.